it contains imprints of your energy. The best example I can give you that would prove that this is so is this. When you go to Europe and certain parts of your earth, you feel what has happened there. Layers and layers of war. Some of you have a hard time meditating there. It's difficult to clear the land, isn't it? Because of what's happened on the land. That ought to tell you about the crystalline grid. That everything that ever happened lays on the grid where it happened. So it is location specific. You come to certain parts of the planet where nothing happened and it's clear and it's clean and you meditate better. I want to ask you something. Take a look at where all of the channelers have come from in the last 25 to 30 years. They have come from the pristine land that never had wars. Take a look. Because it's easier for a human being to relate to what? The essence of Gaia. Again, here it is. The connection is there. The connection with the earth. Why the earth? And I will tell you, because Gaia is part of a measuring system, a vibrational measuring system. There'll come a day when the earth is measured for its vibrational attributes that were created by what the humans did. Collectively, what you've done and what you're going to do lays upon this planet in a vibratory rate which is measurable by spirit. That's the crystalline grid. We've given you some of the attributes of the grid you didn't expect. It's in a channeling you can read and you can see. It even explains ghosts. An imprint so strong in a certain area that even though the human beings have left, the imprint of what they did replays like a tape. Go find it if you're interested. That's how profound it is. So here you are with this information. Interesting it is. 3 places you exist at the same time. The cave of creation keeps a record of who you are, comes and goes, keeps your energy even though you're gone. The DNA in the human body helps you while you live. All that you ever were is in there. All 1,000 lifetimes, if you've lived 1,000 of them, is in there, all accessible. You never have to relearn anything spiritually. It's cumulative. It stays with you. All you have to do is open that spiritual jar and out will come the wisdom of the ancients. And listen, this ought to tell you something. All of you are your own ancestors. What does that mean to you? Do you know what the indigenous of this planet know? Do you know what they do? Look at their services of worship. They use the modern term, so you'll know what they do. What is the first thing they do? They honor the ancestors. It's with them. They know it's with them. Intuitively they know that is first on the stack of honoring. Before they ask for help, they always go to the ancestors. Listen to their service sometime. Listen to what they do. Not only they honor the ancestors, they ask them for wisdom. The indigenous know how to mine the Akash. They always have. Because they realize the circle of life. They know that they are their own ancestors. They know it's inside of them. So why shouldn't they? Pull upon that which is wise. And what do you know about the indigenous of this area? And how did they feel about the earth? Huh? They knew Gaia, didn't they? For they saw it as a partner. A partner in their soul life. Oh, dear one, if you study the ancients, you're going to find everything I've given you today. They knew. Intuitively, they knew. Lastly, we've spoken this only 2 times before. Years and years ago, we gave you some information we now then complete. hard for you to understand why this should be. Part of the system that I've just described to you, part of the cave of creation, part of the DNA in a human being, and part of the crystalline grid. The information of those three combined are stored in a living mammal on this planet. It has to be this way. It is the final layer. It connects you not only with Gaia, but it connects you with the life on Earth in the most profound way. It is stored in the whales. Let's talk about whales. You love them, don't you? Oh, by the way, ask a biologist. A dolphin is a whale. It's just smaller. You love the whales, don't you? Do you realize it is the only mammal on the planet that is protected by almost all of the countries on Earth, even those without an ocean? What a coincidence. There is an intuitive level of all humanity, no matter what their system of government, no matter where they are, that knows that you can't eliminate them or you'll be in trouble. They hold the records. It is the cycle. The whales are in Gaia. They're under the water. They're mammals like you. They contain the information. It is the cycle. It is complete. The very water of the earth now has everything you've done, who you are, who you might be. Do you see the profundity of the system? And what is it about? It's about you. All of it. All of it. Why would the earth be so designed intelligently to keep track of you, to honor you, to know who you are and the name you had? Why would that be unless you were important, unless you were part of the master plan, unless you had something to do with the universe's future? Think about it. That's the system. I won't be the only one to channel this information to you, to give you proof that the system is the system. And there are others who've never heard these words that'll tell you the same thing. If you get a chance, you might even ask Gaia, and she'll tell you the same thing. Gaia exists for the sacred human beings that are on this planet in lesson. I give you this in love today. You leave this place differently. I want you to think about the system in place. Everywhere you walk, you're known. How many of you have ever walked into a forest alone and felt the company of the trees? For that's real. I speak of animals all the time and how they're here to service humanity and how they do it so completely. I've spoken of how some of them are here to be eaten. They have to be. You can't grow things fast enough. That's a service. And for those of you who are vegan, and you would say, well, I never eat them. That is a choice for your health. It's appropriate and accurate. It doesn't hold true for everyone. And many will eat them. Never understanding. The animal knew it when they came in. It's not about sacrifice, it's about appropriateness. How do you treat them? With that kind of purpose on the planet, How do you treat them before they become your food? Oh, that's a question, isn't it? I'll give you an attribute. Did you know the better they're treated, the more nutritious they will be? Kryon, don't talk about that. We don't want to think about it. All right, let's think about some of the others. The ones at home. We speak of them too. They're here to love you. We said that. They know the system. They're the ones who reincarnate, so they continue to love you. And we've told you that. They don't live very long. And I don't know how many humans in the room are aware of that system. And I want my partner to develop this more clearly, so those animal lovers will know that when their animals die, they can continue the love affair if they want to, by looking in the right place and finding the soul, picking it up and continuing what they had. There's somebody in the room who had to hear that. What a system. What's it about? You. So that you continue to feel loved and cared for. So there's a hand-holding going on between spirit and you, and Gaia and you if you want it. There's so many things here for you if you want it. Old soul, you sit here for a purpose. Maybe you needed to hear this today. Important you are, precious you are, a master you are. Now go claim it. Live a long time. Be joyful in the process. Don't make up your mind what's supposed to happen. The worst thing you can do is predispose what God has for you based upon what you think is happening now. Instead, relax. Be joyful in all things. And fall in love with yourself. I am Kryon, lover of humanity. For a good reason. And so it is.